Hey everyone, and welcome back to Master Your Life Beyond the Boardroom. I'm your podcast host, Luke Beastall, and I just thought I'd start with this because it's been a little bit chaotic. I mean, obviously we're going to introduce Dalton in a minute, but getting this episode in, we had a last-minute cancellation yesterday just due to unforeseen circumstances with a guest, and I'm giving you massive credit here, buddy, because to step up and come to our Nottingham studio, it's an absolute privilege, and obviously this is going to be very open, very free flow. I haven't prepared myself the best for this one, but we'll just see where it goes.
It'll be fine, yeah.
But just to give you a bit of background on Dalton, he's a vintage wholesaler. He's been doing this the last 14 years, and through his experiences, his lessons, his failures, his successes, he is now helping the generation coming through. I mean, we're talking from as early ages of 14, be able to build their own reselling business. So he's now coaching those guys to do that. So I think this is very unique, very big sort of on the social media. But look, Don, I just want to go straight and make that. Thank you for being here today.
It's all right. So honoured to be here, obviously. And I'm a first reserve, I guess, aren't I? I'm like a back.
You've stepped up to the first team. But no, obviously you reached out, and you was the first person I reached out to. And because I just think, again, we have multiple business owners from all different fields, and actually you are our first guest that does wholesaling, so
it's good.
So tell us a little bit about then, just for any sort of guest watching in on this or listening back, what is it, if you could summarize, I guess, is it that you do with your business?
So obviously it's adapted and changed over the years, but at this current state right now, it's we're importing and exporting secondhand sustainable fashion, all the top brands you can imagine, from Pakistan, India, America. Wow. Yeah, all comes in big shipping containers. We're actually meant to have one arrive today, which wouldn't have been very good for this episode, but it got delayed until next Tuesday. So
worked out.
It's perfect. But yeah, they come in these big containers, import it all in, and then we kind of break it down into smaller bundles and wholesale it to big shops around the world, small shops around the world, resellers, boutiques. And so then they can sell sustainable fashion online or physical stores.
So, for example, like, I mean, I know this is really random. This is good. So, like Cow or something like that, Shop Cow, do you do stuff with those and like vintage shops? Is that on the high streets or not so much?
Yeah, so we sell to a lot of high street stores, mainly more like independent ones rather than so like Cow are a big like franchise. They have their big connections abroad already because they probably buy in like really expensive containers like we do. So it's not really the bigger guys, but somewhere kind of in the middle.
Yeah.
We'll get there one day though.
Yeah. So, but the thing is, I think the fact that like you're working with a lot of different businesses, I mean, that must have been really hard to sort of build up over time. Where did this journey of vintage wholesaling start for you? How did that even come about?
By accident.
So, well, of course, yeah.
So I was at Loughborough University, mainly went there to play football, studied business, and obviously I didn't have much money, so I used to go in charity shops, try and find some like nice branded items.
Right.
Picked up a Ralph Lauren shirt for £3.
Nice.
I think you're in Catch Trust or something like that. So I got back to my uni accommodation. It was too big for me. And then my flatmate tried it on. He really liked it. I sold it him for 20 quid.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. So I thought, hold on a minute, that's a very good idea. So I started then putting time into going charity shopping. I then started getting numbers of like the charity shop managers who text me saying, oh, we've got a big bundle in. So I used to then go to all these charity shops around Loughborough and spend a lot of money buying stuff. And then I'd be reselling it on apps like eBay, Depop to flatmates, people in my accommodation and whatever. And it kind of grew from there. After that, I just did that for 3-4 years whilst at uni, building my capital up. And it then turned into I didn't have enough stock for demand. So I had to kind of look for suppliers, and then I found some local ones. And then after university, I thought, right, this is doing really well. Tried opening a shop. And then that's kind of like where it went from there. Started turning into a real business rather than just selling to individuals.
So that's, I mean, obviously there's loads to unpack that were there, but just sort of something that I wanted to go back to what you said there about obviously you'd gone to university, you was doing football and business,
Mhm.
and obviously then this sort of happened accidentally, but obviously it's been a blessing for you because
Yeah.
it's now gone on to become the thing, and now you're helping so many people do it. Obviously, back then, did you see yourself even being a business owner, or what was sort of like? Did you? Because obviously you were doing football. Was you going down the football route? Like, tell us, like, where was your head at that moment before sort of
Yeah.
you did the
I don't think my head was anywhere, and that was the problem. Like,
right?
I didn't even see myself being at university. It was
Oh,
kinda one of those where my dad went to university, and I think a lot of parents, they want their kids to go to university. I didn't know what I wanted to do, so I kinda got pushed down that route, by my family.
mm,
So I ended up there. I didn't really enjoy my time there. I didn't go to lectures.
really?
Didn't go to one lecture in 4 years, which is crazy.
That is mad.
Didn't go to any because, um, all the webinars, lectures were filmed online. So when it came to, like, exams, I'd just cram a few weeks before watching them. But also because I didn't want to be there.
Mm,
I definitely went for the wrong reasons of just, like, being away from home, living on my own, partying. I was going out probably 4 or 5 nights a week. I didn't realise until after I left university, I was probably, like, depressed the whole 4 years of being there,
no,
and I didn't know. I
right.
used to be, like, in my room all the time, and some days I wouldn't even come out that room, like, I wouldn't all my housemates would be going to lectures,
Mm,
and they'd come back and be like, "Have you left your room yet? You been to uni, to your lectures or whatever?" And I'd just be like, "No." I'd literally be in my room, and then I'd wait until that night out, like, with the lads and having a laugh. So, no, I didn't even want to be at uni, let alone go into business or know what I were gonna do after uni. I didn't even know if I were gonna graduate or finish uni,
mm,
so it were a case of, like, that accidentally happened, which it's a good job really. Actually, I owe it to going to university that I accidentally stumbled
course.
upon that. So, yeah, I might not have come out with something that I'd use my degree for, but I've come out with something obviously much better
Mm,
that's allowed me to now scale a really successful business, but not by using the degree. So
yeah.
it's like it's weird how things happen, but, um, yeah, I don't regret going, but I'd also not say it's essential for kids these days to think they have to go to university or do further education, so
Is that because I mean, fair play for sharing that. I appreciate you sort of talking about, obviously looking upon
mhm.
hindsight that you was in depression, you lived for the night out. I'm sure lots of people, watching this and listening are probably like, yeah, same when I was at uni, I lived for the
Yeah,
nights out. It was like 4 or 5 nights a week, probably using overdrafts to
yeah,
sort of go out.
100%.
Obviously you mentioned there about your dad, sort of going down the uni route. I'm not saying he forced you or gave you pressure towards that, but did you look up to him to sort of go down that route? Was he very supportive of that sort of journey? Like,
Yeah.
where did that sort of come about? Because some people just go on and do completely different things, don't they, after leaving school?
Yeah, so my dad's, always been, like, super successful in what he's done, so
Right.
he also weren't gonna go to uni.
Oh,
He went through clearing very last minute. He ended up at he ended up going to Luton, which was, like, at the time, like, the worst probably uni you could go to, just the last clearance university.
ah,
Um, in his first year, my mum then fell pregnant with me when she was 17. My dad was 18. Didn't have, like, contact then, it was, like, pages and
yeah,
stuff,
yeah.
so they were away. Mum pregnant with me at such a young age, and then I think it were 2nd year of uni, my dad had just turned 19, he got attacked and, like, stabbed.
Oh,
Yeah, like
wow.
yeah, by a group of lads. Nearly lost his life,
Yeah.
and
Wow.
he didn't, obviously, he
No, no.
came through
Yeah,
it,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
but it just that's kinda I look up to how he's just they've gone through that. Even my mum just dedicated her whole life to make sure I've got everything, raising me and my sister, whilst my dad's having to make something of himself, graft with this business that he's built up to a point where, like, he told me that the business was, like, a day away from, like, just not working, and
Right.
he's grafted and he's been so successful,
Mm.
and I think that's kinda what I looked up to. I thought, "I do want to be successful like my dad, and I want to, I don't know, have my own family one day where I can
Mm.
give back to them,"
Yeah.
and it was tough because he wanted me to be like him, but
Yes.
I think I didn't really have it in me where I was just so I don't know what it is with me, like, I'll be I'll want something, but I want it a bit quicker, or I'll get bored or fed up of it. So, like, with uni, it were like, I'd rather cram or get results quicker at the end, and I didn't want to put the work in at the time. And I've always had it where 'cause I'm not passionate about something, I've been, like, lazy with it. So when I was at uni, I didn't want to be there, so I
Yes.
didn't go to lectures. I didn't want to then go and work in a bank like I was supposed to or expected to after uni. And then that's why, like, then this obviously passion came from this reselling. So it kinda, I don't know what tangent I'm going down, but it just it all linked weirdly in a way where, like, if I didn't go to university, it probably would have never happened, and I probably would have been in, like, a dead end job doing something I don't enjoy, but now I do. So
Yeah, but I think, and by the way, that tangent was actually really good because obviously I could tell that,
mm,
I know your dad's probably proud of you, what you've done already, and
yeah.
obviously you're proud of him. He's obviously instilled skill set in you from a young age
Mm,
for you to be the person you are today. Obviously, at that moment where you took the plunge to go to uni and you didn't want to be there, did you say your dad didn't want to be there either, or did he want to be there?
he didn't want
So
to
there's
either.
similarities there,
Yeah,
but you know what? It's like obviously he's. Did you say he's got his own business?
yeah, he's recently sold it, so
Oh right,
yeah, he's done really well.
all right, brilliant.
But obviously my that's come as well at because my mum has sacrificed, like, her life and
Sure.
working to, like, raise me and my sister. He's been able to go and create that success as well, so it's
Yeah.
like both of
Teamwork.
them. Yeah.
Teamwork, definitely. That's brilliant. So for you, obviously that you've been around that, even, you've seen it, you've acknowledged it,
Mm,
you've sort of felt it. And obviously now, you went down the uni path. It's quite interesting how that experience dropped on you sort of out of the blue. I mean,
mm.
just that for you to talk, do you talk about that a lot to sort of, I know we're sort of shifting a little bit into what you do now, passing it down to the younger generation. Do you share that story quite a lot with the £3 Ralph Lauren t-shirt where you
Yeah.
upsold it to £20 and stuff like that from a charity
Well, I
shop?
hope he's not watching. I told him it was 20 quid, charity shop.
Did you?
I'll sell it for cost price, mate, just 'cause
Yeah.
no. Yeah, I mean, I get the opportunity to talk about the journey quite a lot. Obviously, I don't talk about I've never really spoke about how I actually were at university.
Right,
People would probably assume that I went there and was really successful at university,
right.
when obviously I wasn't. I was in probably a dark pit that I didn't even know I were in
Sure.
until recently, actually, probably 10 to 12 years later, I probably realized, God, I were struggling back then and didn't even know.
Right.
But yeah, it's with obviously our coaching students that come in and want to learn about the industry, I'm able to obviously use my experience and say to them, like, look, I understand you. A lot of them come to me and say, I want to help my family, don't want to go to university, I can't afford it. And I'm able to, like, reassure them that you don't have to.
Mm.
If you don't want to, you don't have to. There's loads of opportunities out there. Having your own business or having a trade, even, like, it's some of the safest things to do at the minute. Um, and obviously you control your own time, your freedom, which is obviously so important. But yeah, I'm able to use that experience and pass it on to the younger generation. So
Yeah, and obviously you've just said there about the accessibility, just how obviously it's global as well. You've
mm,
spoken very early on about where these shipping containers come
yeah,
from. Just that obviously there's so many more brands as well out there that people work with. Obviously, you're now able to give back. Just going to, I know I'm going on a bit of a tangent, or reversing back a
yeah,
little bit
yeah,
here, where you was talking about obviously you only recently knew that you were struggling at
mm,
university, but now you're this global coach in
mm,
a way, like you're connecting with people
yeah,
via social media, TikTok specifically, where
mm,
you're having people reach out to you.
yeah,
Where did you find that skill from that you could be this coach? Because if you look back, you used to be depressed, and normally when you depress, you isolate and hide away.
yeah. I think for me, it's I need other people to, like, believe in me
Right.
for me to believe in myself. So this obviously, I've been reselling for 14 years, wholesaling, whatever. The coaching only came about recently, the last few years, and that's when, a friend of mine, someone in the industry, his name's Evan Selick, he's
Right.
won awards for businesses. He's only 20,
Wow.
and he's doing amazing. He
Yeah.
started a coaching group.
Right.
He reached out to me, quite a lot, like, constantly. I kept turning it away because I thought, people don't wanna pay for my knowledge and experience, and he kinda made me believe that actually they would, because I've got 14 years experience.
Yeah.
I've made every mistake you can imagine. I've had 20K containers not turn up, and I've never seen that money again. Like
Wow.
I've been scammed. I've had rags sent to me. I've anything you can imagine in the industry, it's happened. And he made me like believe that I could use that to better other people. So it stems from I didn't figure it out myself that I could be this coach. It came from someone else believing in me
Mm.
and letting me know that I could do it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I almost like it's probably not a good trait, but I almost need like validation or belief from someone else for me to believe it. I struggle
S
to believe it
Right.
myself.
So so in a way, you sort of want somebody not to, it's not to mollycoddle, but just put the arm around you and say, "Look,
Yeah,
you've got this, you can
yeah,
sort of do this."
hmm
So I'm just interested now and curious because obviously you said that this guy, Evan, obviously he's been an integral part in you believing in
yeah,
yourself. You were knocking down the doors quite a few times, but you kept turning it away. What allowed you to open that door then? What changed for you to say, "Oh, do you know what? I now do believe," because that is quite a
yeah,
pivotal shift, and I bet a lot of people watching and listening to this will be like, how did that happen?" Because I feel that I don't
yeah.
believe myself. I don't believe I can do it at the
Well, they just offered me more money, so I just no, I'm kidding.
minute. Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
I started to like the first time they contacted, I was like, no, I'm not interested. I'm so
Yeah, yeah.
busy. But then I kept seeing like their results. They kept talking to me more, explaining like really in depth. They spent a lot of time like breaking me down and my experiences down and like saying how that would benefit certain people. And I think it came about because there are a lot of, they call them online gurus. There are a lot of
Yeah, yeah.
gurus out there in this industry that are actually just like manipulating, taking advantage of younger kids. And you've seen it from the amount of fake accounts of me on TikTok.
Come on, how many accounts did you
There's
show me? How many was there?
there's at least 100.
That's
Um,
ridiculous, isn't it?
and yeah, 20, 30 of them get took down a day and then they pop up again. But
That's
I
mad.
think that played a part, because I thought I'm seeing all these young, vulnerable people get manipulated, taken advantage of. And I thought, if I just start doing this coaching with Evan,
Yeah.
I can actually put a stop to that a little bit and do it the right way.
Okay.
And I had like a vision in my head, like, right, if we're going to do it, I want to do it this way.
Sure.
And things changed a little bit in the group where it kind of went my way. And then I was able to do it. And it's grown from there. Like, it's been less than a year. There's 170 members in there now. A lot of them are 14, 15,
Yeah.
some that are 50. But all ways of life are in there wanting to do
Mm.
the same thing. It's really good.
Yeah. I think this is amazing. Obviously, for him to consistently persist with you
Mm.
shows a lot about him as well
Yeah.
as seeing potential in you, I guess. Seeing something
Yeah.
in you that
Mm.
probably you didn't see in yourself.
Yeah.
But then over time, what that's given you, I guess, unless correct me if I'm wrong, has given you that belief that
Exactly.
actually I can do it. So
Yeah.
now these younger teenage kids and all different ages that you sort of coach and guide,
Mm.
you're giving that to them, what you've experienced
Exactly.
and what you needed the most at that time in
Yeah.
your life.
And obviously they're then able to like not take shortcuts, but
Right.
their mistakes have been massively reduced because they're
Yeah.
coming to someone with such experience.
Yeah,
Like it
yeah,
happens
yeah.
every day. They'll say, "Oh, shall I do this?" And straight I'm like, "Honestly, please don't do it. Done this, done this." And I'll advise them what to do instead.
Mm.
And they're all doing so well because of it. And I look back and I think I wish that there was a version of me when I was starting at that age who I
Right.
could have gone to and not
Sure.
made all those mistakes.
Yeah,
So
of course.
but then I don't know, I don't know if I do because if I hadn't have made all them mistakes,
You wouldn't
I
be where you
wouldn't be
are.
able to, like, coach the kids now and give them the experience. So,
Correct. Yeah. Well,
um
you think about it like, I mean, if we talk about a experience, 'cause obviously you're fast tracking these young kids as well. That's the experience that you've
mhm.
got. What's been the biggest lesson so far in your business that has shaped you to who you are today that you constantly give back to the people that you work with?
I think it's, like, in terms of, like, having to, like, adapt when things change, I think that's the hardest thing in
Right.
this industry in particular. So, we've not just done wholesale over the years, we've had shops in the local town centres.
Have you?
Yeah, so we
Wow.
had, my first ever shop was called Gorilla Garms.
All
Um,
right.
I just had a weird obsession with gorillas at the time. It was actually a uni night out what got me gorilla obsession.
Wow.
Um,
What was that all about then?
um,
Was it gorillas art?
yeah, there were a few. No, I got home.
Did you get with a few?
Yeah, a few, odd few.
Yeah.
They were woke up one morning really hungover with session depression. I call it.
Yeah. Yeah.
and looked at my phone, £100 had gone out to this like WWF something. I was like, what on earth's this? Started contacting bank, whatever. I'd adopted a gorilla for 100 quid when I was drunk at 3 in the morning, and I'd called it Steve after my dad, and it was a female gorilla. So anyway,
That's mad, isn't it?
from there, like everyone made a joke of it, like
Yeah.
love gorillas, whatever. So when I'd finished that, I thought, oh, I'll call it Gorilla Arms, love gorillas. Got gorilla sleeve because I love
Men.
gorillas a lot.
Yeah, yeah, that's good.
So that's a tangent, that's a different story. But so yeah, essentially we've going back to the shop opening Gorilla Arms, we had that COVID struck, shut the shop down,
Right,
kept opening, kept closing. We were doing amazing. And then it was never the same kind of after COVID.
right.
People weren't coming out as much.
Online, weren't it? A bit
Everything went
more. Yeah.
online. Vinted popped up out of nowhere.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Um,
That went massive, didn't it?
yeah, it started taking over. So we kind of like, we've been in the industry for 14 years, but we've had to chop and change to what works. So one minute we're selling online, next minute we've got a shop.
Right.
Then we went down like a mystery box route, which
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's a podcast in itself. That is like, I took for
Yeah.
2 hours on that. Myself and my partner Laura and family, we had everyone in. Like we were doing 100 orders a day on that,
Wow.
and then all of a sudden that stopped. Then what we do, we went back and opened another shop, tried it again, did well initially, and then people stopped coming to town. And then we thought, right, we need to adapt again. So then we went back into just doing solid wholesale. Met an amazing supplier in Pakistan. Got sent like clothing over containers, whatever, and then that's where we are now. But obviously the biggest struggle and what I'm trying to teach the kids is that it's an industry where it's forever adapting. You can't get comfortable. You need to be ready to like change something, even if the fashion just changes,
Yeah.
or the way you're importing stock, or little as like tax going up or VAT on secondhand clothing being introduced, which is crazy, by the way. That shouldn't be a thing, but
Yeah.
it's just yeah, that's the biggest thing that shaped me. It's been, I guess, it's resilient, or we've not give up, even though we could have given up so easy when that shop started suffering.
Right.
Could have just closed, and I could have just gone and got a job at Tesco.
Yeah.
But,
Was it so? I mean, by the way, yeah, resilience definitely. I mean,
mm,
fair play to you because obviously, I mean, I think COVID, unprecedented time, unpredictable, what was going to happen.
yeah,
Obviously, I think that's definitely something I think in business that I hear quite often is the adapting part, the navigating the tough times. Obviously, it's a roller coaster journey. For you, obviously working with your partner Laura and just family at home and all that kind of stuff. Was there ever a moment though in even this 14-year span where you were just going to sort of jack it in and find another job? Has that ever come about? Has those conversations ever been had? Or have you always had that belief that you'll pull through?
I think, to be honest, it's one of the only. I've never thought, right, I'm not going to do this, and I
Right.
know I'll do this forever because I know I can adapt to just make it work. I've got the contacts where if I ever needed money or to sell something, I can do it.
Right. That's good.
So I've never thought, oh, I'm not going to do this anymore. Never. And I will do it forever because I can just do it. It's hard to explain, but I know it could never fail because I just adapt it in a different
Yeah.
way
Yeah.
for it to work. So,
That's really good. I mean, honestly, it's the first time I've probably heard that
yeah.
in asking a similar question like that on this show because a lot of people will have those moments of
Mm,
the breaking point,
yeah.
in the trenches where that negative talking comes in the mind
Mhm.
and maybe external people going, look, I think, why don't you just get a normal job? Why don't you just settle for a bit of financial security month on month
Yeah.
rather than doing this thing that, is unpredictable? Because nobody likes that feeling of they don't know what's around the corner. But you've
Yeah.
obviously fell in love with that because that's part of what you do, isn't it?
Yeah. And there is other things in life where I've been like, "Oh, I'm fed up with this. I'm just gonna sack it off and
Yeah.
quit." But this is honestly, it's never. I don't think it's ever popped into my head once where I thought I'm not gonna do it. Like I say, it feels like you're doing something different because one minute you're selling online, then it's like a year later you open a shop. It feels like you're sacking that off and then opening a shop, but it's all the same industry. You're just adapting the way you sell the stock and building up your clientele over the years. We're genuinely at a point now where we can't fail. We've actually got more customers than we do stock.
Right.
So I just know it'll work. And secondhand clothing will overtake fast fashion by 2030. That's the prediction. So
Right.
it's like an ever growing industry. It's just the setbacks, all the shops closing down the high street.
Right.
So that kind of area of vintage reselling is no more. And then, so you have to adapt. That disappears. What's next? Oh, the live stream selling's now become a thing. So there's apps called Whatnot and Tilt,
I've heard
where
of Till, yeah.
people are live streaming auctions of the clothing.
Yeah.
So that's now come into play. So all it is just adapting. And if you can't adapt, you'll never succeed in this industry. And luckily, we can adapt.
Yeah.
But then who knows? In 10 years' time, live streaming might flop. iStream might be booming again.
Yeah.
And it's just knowing how to adapt. It can never fail as long as you stay up to date with what's happening and fashions and trends.
Yeah, so this is good. This is obviously quite reassuring for anyone that is interested in exploring that avenue. Obviously, it must take a certain person. I mean, obviously, you've got traits, values that has allowed you to stay in business 14 years. And come on, like, there's not many people who can say, I mean, from 18 to 32 to still stay in business and continue to grow and have a successful business. Obviously, there's been failures, there's been ways that you've navigated. But just for people to sort of understand business that probably is not said very much online, because obviously we know online it can be always, I'm not saying showing the lows and that, but it can look quite fancy, it can always look like things are moving at a fast pace. Is there anything that you've come across that's been one of the hardest moments in your business to date that you probably don't share very often?
Yeah, so we had we're going to talk about the mystery box situation
Yeah,
now
go on,
because
yeah.
I knew it'd come up. So we started like a bit of a mystery box company with the vintage clothing, and it all stemmed from like seeing someone similar doing it, and I thought, oh, I could do that better and more animated. You've seen my TikTok videos, I'm very like,
Yeah.
boom,
Boom. Here I am.
So we thought, why not, instead of selling in these shops, and why don't we get these boxes? We'll put in like a jacket, a jumper, a t-shirt, £65. This was selling to consumer, so slightly different. Right now we're business to business, wholesaling to other stores and shops. This were an idea from as B2C.
Right.
So we were doing, you can go on the site, pick your size. So if you want a medium, female, we'd send you a 3-piece box, jacket, jumper, t-shirt in your size to your door.
Nice.
All fabricated from, it was just a fake order we did on TikTok. We pretended to pack an order. Oh, I'm packing order number 1078 for Charlie or whatever. Made it up. We don't had any orders yet. But I
Right,
then
okay.
packed this order with some really nice vintage bits. That video, I think the first one did like a couple 100,000 views.
Wow.
So then everyone was smashing website, like hitting it, we're like getting dings all the time. I would wake up at night hearing pings off of Shopify in my head.
Really?
Yeah, it worked.
Was it actually happening, or was it just like happening?
No, it worked. We'd wake up, we're like, no, I were dreaming it.
Oh,
but
right,
it was
I get
happening
you.
as well.
Oh, right,
Because I
okay.
did ping so much in there. Even like Laura and her family, we muted it at the warehouse because we were sick of hearing it.
Yeah, I bet.
Which were obviously great.
Yeah.
But so I was making these videos, then packing real orders, and I'd do like quirky stuff. Some of them were getting 3 million views, like crazy level views.
Right.
Got to a point where we were then doing so well. We were spending £500 a day on ads.
Wow.
A day.
Wow.
But then we got, which sounds great for someone looking on the outside. And no, this is a question you asked. Like,
Yes.
it looked all sunshine, rainbows, whatever.
Sure.
People looking in. That looked great. Yeah, we're getting 1,000 orders a day. It were a nightmare. Logistically, just tired all the time, workload, everything. We weren't able to turn the ads off. Bearing in mind, so vintage clothing comes in big containers, sacked random. So you don't know what sizes you're going to get, whatever. It's a mix.
Right.
So we were at one point, I think, 700 orders behind on a size medium woman. So we couldn't do enough to get them orders down because we were getting like a sack in, and it'd just be like full of like American XL large and mainly blokes. We got ourselves in a lot of like, not backlash, but we could have had 10 people on customer service emails because we're getting that many. Where's my order? We were getting to a point where we're like almost a month behind on orders because we'd scaled so fast. Within like a month, we were scaled up to like 1,000 orders a day. It was ridiculous.
Churn that out. I mean,
Yeah.
how many was just you and Laura? Was there anybody
Me,
else?
Laura, then Laura's sisters came in. We
Yeah,
had
of
Laura's
course.
mum on washing machines because B2C, you can't sell it unwashed legally
Yeah.
because you're selling to a consumer. They have rights. Business to business, you can sell it as is because it's wholesale. They
Yeah.
take care of the.
Ah, fair.
So we had like a washing team, a grading team, a
Flipping
measuring
heck.
team because bearing in mind a lot of vintage stuff, it'll say a large, but actually it's a medium because it's
Yeah, I felt
American.
that. Yeah.
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 So it were like we needed genuinely, I bet we needed 50 staff to make that. We'd grown an operation that could have probably turned over millions
Right.
if we had 50 to 100 staff.
Okay.
We were doing it with 4 of us. So it got to a point like we were getting chargebacks because people were waiting so long. We then had people saying, "I only like one of my 3 items," and it's like, "Well, how do you go about
Refunding
refunding,
that. Yeah. Yeah.
returning?" Got to a point where Shopify were holding like 20% of the money just to make sure that there weren't more chargebacks and it could cover it. So
Okay.
then we just got to a point where we were just so overwhelmed. But from the outside, everyone saw these viral videos, us packing hundreds of orders a day, and they think, God, they must be
Coining it
making a
in.
killing. They're doing so
Yeah.
well. Money were coming in
Yeah.
really well, but it were going out same day to like pay for ads to panic buy more stock. And it just got to a point where it just like we were all shattered. We had to close it down. Um, and again, someone on the outside, it looks amazing. Looks like you're doing so well, and it's not always the truth. There's always more to it.
Mm.
And that's the one thing I'd say. A lot of these kids, going back to the coaching for
Yeah.
kids, a lot of them look up to people they see online. And I always tell them, I say, don't compare yourself to them because it doesn't necessarily mean that they're doing really
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
It's fabricated in a way to look like they're doing well.
Oh yeah,
And
definitely.
that
Yeah.
was the problem. So that was the issue. That was probably the biggest. It's almost like the biggest success and failure in one that we had because people would dream to have that level of business we created in a month,
Mm.
but we just weren't ready for it.
Yeah, so I think that's the thing that you just said there right then, like you wasn't ready for it.
Yeah.
Obviously, you probably didn't envision it going that big
No.
anyway, like say
Yeah.
1,000 orders a day and then you're like panicking, oh my God, we need to
Yeah.
get so many people. I mean, it's not, I would say the worst problem to have, but obviously you had to make a decision because it was getting to the point where you were like say burnt out,
Mm.
overwhelmed. Just from that though, with obviously, I mean, a lot of people are like, oh God, I'd love that problem. I'd love to have loads of orders in. But how did it impact things at home? Like, did you I bet you didn't have any energy to do anything else other than just work and then just sleep, right?
It were tough, and I don't know, it were kinda like it were hard, but it were fun at the same time. It were kinda laughable, but we were
Right.
laughing because we were so overwhelmed. Like, we'd go to bed thinking, "Oh, we've got 500 orders, we can get a chunk of that done tomorrow." We'd wake up and there'd be 1,000, we'd be just me and Laura would look at each other and be like we'd be worried, but we're almost laughing because we're so overwhelmed.
Right.
I don't know. I don't think I've, like, retained much of it in my mind because it happened bearing in mind this was over 3 months. It only lasted 3 months
Oh,
because
right.
it blew up so quick.
Gosh.
It were crazy, honestly. Like, I can't even explain,
So
like
one video just blew up and it set the tone, did
yeah,
it?
and then it were video after video after video.
Yeah.
Probably should have stopped posting the videos, to be honest.
That's what probably kept
Try
it going, yeah,
yeah,
carnage.
but it were just like the buzz of it. Like, you didn't wanna turn the ads off or turn the videos off because you were just having, like, the the pings and notifications of sales coming in every day. It was just like a really fun buzz. But if someone said to me, "Do you wanna do that again now and make all this money?" I wouldn't do it.
No.
Never.
What would you have done differently though?
Probably just scaled it, like, more organically rather than
Right.
putting money into the ads. That's where we had the problem because if say the ads we were paying for, if someone clicks that and they go on the site and they haven't got their size, so let's say we're behind 500 orders on medium women's, we take that out of stock like we should have. But then if a load of medium women are clicking on the ad and then trying to buy and they haven't got their size, that ad then costing us so much money. The return's not as high. So we
Mm.
were kind of having to like leave everything in stock. Otherwise it'd cost way too much in ads, if you get what I mean.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
every
yeah.
click it had to result in a sale.
Sure, yeah, because I know it costs per click.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it were good. We were getting like 8 to 10 return on ad spend. like, which is crazy for that industry.
Where was
But
that through TikTok or?
through TikTok,
Right.
yes, I think like Spark and Spark ads or something like
Right.
that. But yeah, I didn't really understand it. We had a guy that would do our ads for us. He was
Right.
really good. He was
Yeah.
too good, actually.
Yeah. Obviously,
Yeah.
blew it up for you.
Yeah. So, but no, it were chaos. But again, we then adapted. It's just that's what I mean. It's all about just adapting to see what works.
Yeah.
And like I say, we almost did it too good, too quick, which people think they have to scale. But actually, scaling can be the biggest killer of any business. Like if you scale too quick and you're not ready, your business is done. And that's
Right.
what we did.
So after that, then, so what did you do after that then? So obviously, if you said like you had to shut it down after 3 months, and you said
Yeah.
obviously you've been doing this adapting part, like
Mhm.
that's been one of your big skill sets. Well,
Yeah.
What was next?
So myself and Laura and family, we had a chat and we thought, right, what do we know? We said of going and getting a normal job now. What do we know that we know it works, especially in the early stages. And we thought, what experience have we got? What have we done before? And we thought, right, this were 5 years later on from the first shop. Let's open another shop in Chesterfield. Let's get a deal, a cheap deal, because they were giving them out then essentially after
Yeah.
COVID. And we thought, right, we knew the shop weren't going to be long term, but we knew it would pay us comfortably short term. We had a load of stock obviously left over. So we thought, right, let's just open up a quick shop and then decide.
Mm.
Shop did really well as predicted for the first 6 months, as they always did, and then it just became normal. You know what I mean? Like, it's the hype dies.
All right.
So, the first 6 months of any shop we've opened, it's always been, like, buzzing, buzzing, buzzing. Everyone's coming in, everyone's, "Oh, we're so glad you're here, we love it." Then it kinda fizzles out and it becomes like, "Oh, it's there."
Why do you think that happens?
I think, it's exciting to begin with, but I think, like, say, Chesterfield, for example, it's £5 parking and there's not much else in town at the minute. So people don't really want to pay £5 parking
Yeah,
to come
yeah, I know what you
spend
mean.
10 minutes in one shop. And I think it's weird, but if there were 10 vintage shops on that street, we'd all do so much better than if there were one.
Interesting.
And
Yeah.
I've always stood by that. And that's why when you look at pubs and stuff, restaurants that are on their own, they'll not do as well as if 4 of them are together.
Makes sense.
Because
Yeah.
you'd want to go to an area where you can
Bar up.
plod
But
about a
yeah, yeah.
few. And I think that was just the thing, like, became normal again to have a vintage shop in Chesterfield. They knew they could go 6 days a week. They were not rushing in to go in because they knew they could go the next week or the
Mhm.
next week. Probably would have done better if we were open twice a week.
Was you only open once, or was it?
We were open
Oh.
6, 7
Oh,
days a
right. Yeah,
week,
yeah,
but
yeah.
we probably would have done just as good if we opened 2 days a week
Yeah.
because it were almost like a luxury. But it just became like normal for people being able to go whenever they want. So
Yeah. I get.
yeah.
Yes.
And then obviously you're capped, aren't you? Like 9 to 5.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
make
yeah.
money, can't make anything after. Whereas now, obviously, after that, we were setting up wholesale at the same time. We just get enough money to like buying containers because they're
Yeah.
expensive. Like they're not cheap. So we were building that up to do wholesale again. We got our warehouse in Hasland, and people don't know where Hasland
I
is.
think mine do. There's quite a few local people. Yeah.
Yeah.
They were like, well, I know where Aslan is. But
Hasland,
yeah.
Chesterfield.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we were scaling that up at the same time. And the luxury and benefit of that is you instead of just being capped at 9 to 5 and 100 different reasons why someone's not going to come in that day, cars broke down, got an appointment somewhere, they're not coming in. You move to wholesale with a website which you're like pushing through TikTok. We'll wake up with a sale at 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m. And
Yeah. You're making money while you sleep.
yeah,
Yeah.
you've
Yeah.
gone from like being so capped to where like we'll go to Isle of Arran every year in Scotland. And we know that we can have a week off but still make money.
Yes.
So it's kind of
Which is a dream for most people,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
I don't think that answers the question you asked.
No,
Or
but
even
it,
close.
no, it does. It does, but it definitely also gives another angle because what you're doing as well, like what you just said, like you're creating opportunities. You're
Yeah.
basically creating job opportunities, really.
Yeah.
But obviously, there are risks that come with that,
Mhm.
such as the person might not be the person fit enough for the business. What I'm saying, they might not have the traits and the
Yeah.
values because obviously, you've got this skill set that is unique to you.
Mhm.
But then trying to install that into someone who's quite young, they've got to be a certain person, right?
100%.
So with that being said, what is it that you would say if let's say parents watching this or listening back, because I don't know whether any 14-year-olds will be like Well, they might do actually. No,
They
you
will.
supporting you, but I mean, as
They
in like
will.
watching this, looking in, going into reselling.
Yeah.
What do you look for in them as a person? What gives them like they've got something in that I think they could do this?
Yeah. So, I mean, it's just being passionate about it really, and hearing a lot of them, they'll go through the application process and you kind of get to know why they want to be a reseller. And a lot of them, like, it's crazy, by the way, because when I was younger, I wouldn't ever have thought about trying to make money.
Right.
When I was 13,
No.
14 years old, I were out playing knock a door run with my mates, jumping over edges
Yeah, I
and
know that.
messing about. And now you wouldn't believe it. It's like they're 14 years old wanting to make money. A lot of them saying, "I want to help my family out." And I think it's a
Wow.
knock-on effect maybe from cost of living
Yeah,
crisis at
yeah,
the minute, and
yeah,
parents are struggling. Like, it's not the same as it used to be. I've
yeah. Agreed.
t
Yeah,
take it for granted, like, actually, when you look back at my childhood, my mum and dad made sure I had everything.
yeah. Same.
Not they didn't give it me. I remember washing pots for a month to get GTA 3 on X Vice City on PlayStation.
Yeah, yeah.
I had to wash pots for, I think
Do
it
the
was a month,
chores.
and then I realised it were in the cupboard the whole month. It were already there. I
Built
could
that
just
skill set though, like you
yeah.
say. Yeah.
So I think it's, like I say, a knock-on effect. Parents are struggling, kids are noticing, and they're not getting everything that they want, or like we used to be able to get much more than they can now.
Mm.
And they're like doing something about it. Like they're trying to resell. Obviously, it helps with, I don't, people call me an influencer, I don't, but they see me
They will with
reselling,
your
making
following. Yeah,
money. Yeah.
yeah.
And 14-year-olds think, oh, I can do that. And it's more about the story they come to me as why they want to do it. Like, why do you want to be having a business at 14? You're 14, you should still be enjoying yourself a little bit.
Mm.
Why do you want to? And that's what sets people aside. So not everyone we let into the coaching group, like some people we don't think are right for it, or they might not be mature enough or ready yet, or they want it for the wrong reasons. We'll get people that, "Oh, I want to go to Iron Apple with my mates." And it's like,
Yeah.
we think if you're making a bit of money and then spending it on Iron Apple, you're back to square one and you won't scale a business. But it's the ones like we had a 14-year-old join the other day, local to our area, and he lives just with his mum. He was saying how his mum struggles.
Right.
He can't do anything to help because he can't get a job.
Sure, it's
He
14.
started selling
Yeah.
a bit on Vinted from charity shops, and he's been reselling. And he's now making like, it's still a lot, but he's making like a couple grand a month profit now on Vinted
It's a
alone
lot.
for a 14-year-old.
14 years
He's
old.
able to give his
What?
mum free
Yeah.
£400 a month,
Yeah.
which is crazy. So it's people like that you want to know, kind of like, why do you want your business at 14? Because there's got to be a reason why you should be out having fun still at 14,
Mm.
deciding what you want to do with your
Sure.
life, really. So we kind of want to know why before we like allow someone to do it.
Yeah.
You know, before we think, oh, should we really be helping a 14-year-old start a business at
Mm.
that age? Because you don't know how that's going to affect them later in life. Are they destined for something better, or you don't know?
Yeah, I mean, obviously for you, it's a reflection on your brand, your coach, and your business. If you just let anybody in, you know,
Mm.
you have to be selective. I
Yeah.
feel anyway. I mean, obviously, the reason why, especially for that, providing back to the family, I think is brilliant because
Mm.
obviously, you know, they still live at home. They're probably going to live at home for at least another 10 years, maybe. So
Yeah.
it really it sets them up
Mhm.
financially for years to come and their
Yeah.
future as well, especially if they you know, doing well. But at the same time, they have got to live their life and spend money and
Exactly.
obviously find their feet and make mistakes and travel or whatever it is that they want to do. But I just want to get onto this bit now, Don, because I just think obviously you've built this brand, this business
Mhm.
through you, right? So like you're
Yeah.
the catalyst,
Mhm.
right? What allows you in your life to sort of help you to continue to be creative in your business? Is this some sort of like, I don't want to call it an escape, but is there anything that you like to do in your time off from work that helps you be creative and
Yeah.
keeps your business growing as it is?
I think there wasn't until more recently. I think the problem was I was so wrapped up in it
Right.
and so obsessed with it, obsessed with like watching TikTok grow, looking at views constantly. Even when I got home from work, like my day doesn't stop. I got
Yeah.
people tagging me in our group at 1, 2 in the morning,
Mm,
but I used to like bounce back on that and engage, and I'd be constantly on my phone all the time, and I'd actually miss out on the things that help me settle outside of work. I used to like I could be at a party or an event or be on holiday somewhere. Could be dead sunny, whatever. Sat there eating an ice cream, but I'd be on my phone.
Right.
And I think up until recently, I didn't actually have anything that could take me away from work and focus on. And then, obviously, my partner Laura,
Yeah.
got me into nagging me for a year to start running. And I
Right.
thought, "There's no way I can run."
Yeah.
And I didn't understand it, to be honest. I thought, she'll come over and I ran a
One foot
tank.
in front of the other.
Yeah.
No,
Well, she
no,
come over
no.
saying I ran a 10K the other day, and I
Right.
just thought, "All right." Like, and I didn't appreciate how impressive that was,
Yeah, yeah.
um,
Yeah, of course.
until
It is good, that.
I ran 1K for the first time ever, and I was on the floor, like, crying, 1K. I did
We
run
all
pretty
start
quick, though.
somewhere. Yeah, yeah, you blasted
I
it.
blasted it, and I was like, "I don't get it." And then Laura told me off for running so quick. But, yeah, so the problem actually was not having something to enjoy or
Right.
outside of work that helps me be better at work. I didn't have it at all. And
And have you
then
found that having something outside of work
yes,
help you?
yeah,
Yeah.
it's helped just like just the running, for example. It's given me something to do outside of work, something to
Nice.
focus on, go out and see other people like Run Free, for example. You
Yeah.
get to go and spend your time with like awesome people on a Sunday.
Yeah, yeah.
And then like me and Laura get home on a Sunday and we're just like positively beaming, we say.
Yeah.
um, you're just dead happy after it, and then you forget about work for a bit. And I've honestly, the last few months, I've not been so engaged in work on my phone weekends. I tell people to kind of leave me alone.
You got boundaries then?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but I've
nice.
also noticed, like the question you asked, it's made my content and work so much better
Okay.
because I'm not glued to it, thinking about it 24/7, and I've got something else. Like I'm not just vintage. I'm not just a vintage clothing guy. Like, I've found something else now outside of
Yeah.
work, take me away from it, and our business has got so much better, and the content's got so much better with me kind of withdrawing from it slightly, if you know what I mean. So
Yeah, yeah. So that's actually really that's a good insight right there. That's
yeah.
actually really I mean, obviously I'm sort of like an advocate for that anyway. And
Mm.
obviously to hear it come from you that obviously, you're doing really, really well. Business is growing, and for you to turn around and say, actually by giving something back to myself
Yeah.
is actually helping me give back to others better. It's
Yeah.
allowing the business to grow
Mhm.
even more. There's
Exactly.
more creativity. So like how long's this been going on for? How long have you been running for now? Like, has that been
3 months,
is
and
that it?
yeah,
Oh,
that's
I
it.
don't know. I thought it was longer, you know. I don't
No, it's 3 or 4 months tops. I did my 40th run the other day, so I've only done
Did you
40.
celebrate?
Yeah, I went on to celebrate with another run. So, I'm 41 now.
Flipping it.
No,
Yeah.
that's it. That's, but like I say, I've noticed the difference, and it's so easy to get wrapped up in it. And that's another thing when these, not just the kids, anyone who applies for our coaching, one of the main reasons for it is I want to escape the 9 to 5.
Yeah, of
But it's
course.
so easily then to, and I did it, escape the 9 to 5, but now I do 8 till midnight. So
Yeah.
it's like, yes, you're doing it for yourself, but then you miss out on
So you're actually
certain
working more,
things.
aren't you?
You're working more.
Yeah,
Like
more.
I could honestly I could be busy on my phone 24/7
Mm.
if I wanted to. After this, my phone I'll have 100 messages. That's just how it is.
Yeah. So how do you sort of like channel that? Like what helps you? Because obviously for anyone, I mean, you're talking about you used to be constantly engaging, getting back to messages,
Yeah.
you even dreaming about notifications pinging in your head. Like, what do you do now to help that to sort of boundary and separate it? Because obviously then
Yeah.
it allows you to have time for yourself.
Kinda mainly within the coaching group. Obviously, there's 180 plus members now. They're all aware now not to, like, ping me comfortable hours and so what the social hours are and stuff. So that's all eased. They've all started realizing that they're best just to leave me kinda to it. I'm gonna get their orders done. They're gonna get great orders. They love our stock. It's insane. So they kinda believe in us and the business now where
Yeah.
they don't actually have to nag or ask where their orders are. They just know how it works now. So that's kinda settled. But that took me obviously having to, like, tell them, have a few words like, "Look, let me do my thing. You'll get amazing orders," and they're grateful for it. They know that now. In terms of people messaging every day who are from basically, there's guys that sell my number online. This is a different podcast. They sell my number as a supplier worldwide. So someone out there, people are making money off my number.
That's mad.
It's crazy. So I bet I get 20 messages a day from people in Germany, where it's big in vintage clothing is big
Yeah.
in Germany. Those messages now, I just simply ignore them. I can't get back to them
No,
all.
of course.
I wouldn't even have the stock to
Just change your
facilitate selling.
number.
I
Change
know.
it.
I'm thinking about might have to
Yeah.
get a new work number.
Yeah, something like just change your number again. I know
Yeah.
that sounds a bit, but maybe that might just kill that off a little.
Yeah, I need to. I'll get calls at 2 in the morning, and I'll wake up in the morning and be like, "What do you want?" He's like, "Oh, do you sell vintage clothing?" It's like, "Mate, you rang me at 2 a.m."
Because obviously for you now as well, you don't know if it's a genuine call that could be something for what you're doing, but
Exactly.
you
I
don't
could
know.
be ignoring someone who wants a full-on container from me, which is like big money, but I just
Good
can't
business,
even
yeah.
justify replying to them all.
Oh, that's mad.
So
Yeah, that's crazy. Well, Dalton, my friend, we are getting towards the end of the episode.
yeah,
But this is a question. This is last question. Well, actually, it might be another one, but this is the main question that I ask every single guest, and I'd just love to sort of hear your views on it, your mindset on it. I
yeah.
guess really, what does mastering your life mean to you?
When you say mastering, as in like you're perfect.
Well, I wouldn't even say perfect, but like if you was to get to your gravestone
Mhm.
or get to your deathbed, you're on your way out. What would you look back on and say to your younger self? And you've gone, I've done it. I've smashed my one life.
Yeah.
I've nailed it. I've mastered it. What would that mean to you?
See, the thing is, if things remained as they were now, I'd be happy because I'm working for myself. I'm working with my partner.
Mm,
Our families come and help out. We get freedom. We get to do whatever we want, whenever we want. If we want to go away next week, we can. We're not controlled by someone else working for someone else. Like, if I can do this forever, and yeah, it's graft. We make it look easier than it is. It is graft.
yeah, of course.
Other day we were grading knitwear and our throats closed up for about half an hour. I had to go home, so we're sneezing and fits and dust everywhere.
Yeah,
It's tough, but genuinely, if it stayed like this forever, it wouldn't be a problem.
right,
Like, I think I'm content with how everything is.
right,
We've got
nice.
nice house,
Yeah,
um, partner, families,
yeah,
all encouraging and want to help whenever they can. And yeah, I'd be comfortable with it in like 50 years' time. If I were looking back, I wouldn't change anything that's happening right now.
Mm.
If
So
it would,
so you're on the path.
yeah,
You've got in a way. Obviously the version may be different,
yeah,
say 50, 60 years down the line, but well, if you
yeah,
live to 90, you never know, mate. You might do, but
yeah,
it's just the fact that you are happy where you are. That's
yeah.
really,
Right
really
now
good.
is spot on.
Yeah.
Just finding people to help that you can trust and
Yeah, of
make it a
course.
little bit easier. But again, that's just the hardest thing.
Yeah, it's people in business, mate. That
Yeah.
is for sure.
That's definitely the only thing I'd change. It's just trying to let myself find someone to help.
Yeah, letting people in. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's tough though, for
Mm.
sure. But you're giving back. You're helping the younger generation, and obviously anybody that's interested in this. So, just on that note, where is the best place that people can follow your journey, or even maybe connect with you and ask you questions?
Yeah. Probably on well, TikTok's the main place. It's Dalton Reseller. Obviously, the only issue is there's 100 accounts.
Oh no.
So you
Yeah.
have to try and find me.
Yeah, but it's the one. Yeah, but it's the one with
They
the
won't
larger
just
following, isn't it?
yes.
Yeah,
There's it's the only one with a link in the bio.
fair.
To the link tree on my website and whatever.
Okay,
But it'd be the one with the 72,000 followers at the minute. So
okay,
it's that one.
brilliant.
Obviously, if you do follow me, just don't. I won't message it ever. So just ignore any message
Yeah.
you get from another version of me.
Right, okay, that's a good note to have,
Yeah,
especially if you've got 100 fake accounts.
yeah,
That's-
it's annoying. But
yeah,
yeah, probably on there, YouTube.
yeah,
Um,
brilliant. Well, look, I just once again want to say thank you for joining us in the studio
yeah,
today
pleasure.
and stepping up to the first team last minute.
I know, yeah,
I mean, it's been a pleasure to sort of have you on, and
yeah.
I'm excited for this one to come out. I think a lot of people will take a lot of value from it. So thanks again, mate.
Cool. No, pleasure, mate. Thank you.